Have you ever heard of a plane crash where everyone, and I mean everyone, survived? It sounds like something straight out of a Hollywood movie, but on January 15, 2009, this unbelievable event actually happened. This is the story of U.S. Airways Flight 1549, a flight that would go down in history as the miracle on the Hudson. It was a cold winter afternoon in New York City. At LaGuardia Airport, 150 passengers and 5 crew members boarded an Airbus A320, ready for a routine flight to Charlotte, North Carolina. In the cockpit were Captain Chesley Sully Sullenberger and First Officer Jeffrey Skiles. Captain Sully was a veteran pilot with over 20,000 flight hours, a man whose entire career had prepared him for what was about to happen. The plane took off smoothly at 3:26 p.m. Everything was normal. Passengers settled in, a flight attendant made an announcement, and the city of New York began to shrink below. But just 90 seconds after takeoff, at an altitude of only 2,800 feet, the unthinkable occurred. The plane flew directly into a large flock of Canada geese. Returning to the airport was impossible. He also considered Teterboro Airport in New Jersey, but that too was out of reach. With seconds ticking away and the ground getting terrifyingly closer, Sully had to make a split-second decision. Looking out his window, he saw his only option, his only runway, the freezing, dark waters of the Hudson River. He calmly informed air traffic control, "We're unable. We're going to be in the Hudson." For the controllers on the ground, those words were devastating. They believed they were witnessing the final moments of Flight 1549. Inside the cabin, the crew, trained for emergencies, were pillars of calm. They instructed passengers to brace for impact. People sent goodbye texts to their loved ones, held hands, and prayed. The tension was unbearable. They were told to lower their heads and prepare for a hard landing, but nobody could have imagined landing on water. Captain Sully, with incredible skill and precision, lined up the aircraft with the river, trying to keep the wings level and the nose slightly up. This maneuver, known as a water landing or ditching, is one of the most difficult and dangerous things a pilot can ever attempt. People climbed out onto the icy wings, shivering in the frigid January air, but they were alive. The sight was surreal. A commercial airliner was floating in the middle of the Hudson River, right next to the busy streets of Manhattan. The response was immediate, and nothing short of heroic. Ferries and private boats that were nearby immediately changed course and rushed towards the floating plane. All 155 people on board had survived. There were some injuries, mostly minor, and a few cases of hypothermia, but everyone was safe. The news spread like wildfire. The world watched in awe as the story of the miracle on the Hudson unfolded. It was a story of hope, skill, and heroism in a world so often filled with tragedy. Captain Sully, First Officer Skiles, and the entire crew were hailed as heroes. The National Transportation Safety Board concluded that Captain Sully's decision to ditch in the Hudson was the correct one. The data from the flight recorder showed there was simply no way to make it back to an airport. It shows how technology and human skill can come together to overcome disaster. But most importantly, it's a story about people. The pilots, the cabin crew, the passengers, and the first responders on the water all played a role in this incredible miracle.